Hey, it's snowing here. How's it going for you guys? I don't know. You know how I am about snow. I don't like cold weather, so it's not my favorite thing, but I guess a little bit of it is nice, maybe. I don't know if you don't have to get out in it. Anyway, we have got one break tonight, and it is some Prism Football Blasters. We're going to tear into those momentarily. Before we get started ripping, though, there is a little bit of information I like to go over, make sure we are all on the same page, traveling in the same direction. And it looks like this. My feedback is set to be automated on eBay. Anytime that you leave positive feedback for me, you are instantly going to get positive feedback in return. And of course, the other thing there is a big thank you. I always appreciate you being here, bidding, breaking, chatting, and hanging out with me. We're taking a look now at what is coming up in the days ahead. So not a lot on the calendar. They're still kind of slow as far as cranking out new releases, which means we're a little slow as far as what we're breaking. But things will start getting back to normal, I think, in about another week or so, maybe a little less than. So the only thing we've got coming up in the next few days is Friday night. I started to say tomorrow night, but this is Wednesday. So Friday, we do have a new release product. It's Leaf Metal Draft Baseball, and we will break a case of that on Friday night, the release night. And we are starting a hair normal then later because I was a little late getting it listed. So it'll be 9:15 Eastern, 6:15 Pacific. That's what we're looking at for Friday night's new release. Now, as far as shipping with what we're working on tonight, I am anticipating it being out the door approximately Saturday. Now, as always, that's plus or minus a day. So if things go really well, maybe it gets out a day early. And if something goes off the rails, maybe it goes a day later, which would be Monday. As it stands right now, I feel like Saturday is probably a pretty safe bet. And if for some reason somebody gets completely skunked in here, which isn't super likely, but I guess could happen, and you didn't pull a card of any sort, base or otherwise, you would still get a package in the mail. It would have your consolation card or cards in it and would ship out when the rest of the break goes out the door. Now, I think we are all paid up tonight. Let's double check that real quickly. And we are. Yay. Thank you, everybody, for that. Makes life easier, doesn't it? So this is what we're working on. It is a 10-box half case quantity of Prism Football Blasters. And it is ended tonight on eBay, the 27th of January, same night we're breaking it. And of course, it's break number one of the Blasters anyway. And your team names are there on the left-hand side, winning bidder, user ID across from each team name on the opposite side. And let's see, what else do we need to know about this? Well, we'll talk about what we've got here in a second. Let me get the focus sorted out. Your background is going to get blurry. That is on purpose. So don't worry about that. If I can, well, good grief. Maybe I'm going to get that done in a minute. Have a little, I keep hitting the wrong button. I'm sorry. Sorry. It's every time I hit it, I'm somehow clicking the wrong thing. There we go. Now we're in the right spot. And now your background just got blurry. That's on purpose, though. Don't worry. We're going to be able to see our cards up close and personal. Better than we would have otherwise, I think, if I can get this to cooperate with me. Oh, good. And somebody likes to call. Yes, nice. Yeah, and you know nobody's going to answer that. So it'll just sit there and ring. It's always fun. Always a blast, isn't it? So we've got two, good grief, hang on a minute. We have got two different types of blasters going on here. One of them is the disco prisms. This is a half and half. So I've got 5 of them that say disco prisms. And then the other half says laser prisms. So this is how it was sent to me, was half disco and half laser, which actually I guess works out kind of well, right? We get a little taste of both of them. T-Man is here. Hi, T-Man. So is Brian. Oh, Brian, this is his first time in a break. Well, welcome, Brian. And T. Cassidy's here, too. So, all right. Well, let's see what we can find for Brian and everybody else as far as that goes. So what it says we are looking for in here, blaster exclusive memorabilia cards. So we kind of knew that already. And then, of course, the ones that say laser, we should be looking for 5 base or rookie laser prisms. The one that say disco, we'll be looking for 5 disco base or rookie prisms. Now, of course, I know that the base cards, the straight base cards that aren't prisms, of some of our high-profile players, I definitely know those have some value to them. However, we do not stop and talk about those individually as they go by. You'll see them go by, and that's fine, but we don't go stop on everyone. Oh, there's a Justin Herbert. Oh, there's a Joe Burrow. So just FYI, we stop on the inserts, the numbered stuff, and the prisms. There will also be some stuff that I will sleeve after the fact. Some will do live, like our prisms. A lot of stuff I will sleeve afterwards. So your base non-prism cards, for instance, of Burrow and Herbert and all those guys, your base rookies, that will be sleeved after the break. Just so we know what's going on there. T-Man says, does anybody have the link to Breakers Anonymous? I feel you on that, man. And Breakthrough Odds just joined us. Hi, Breakthrough Odds. Oh, and it's Jason's first time, too. Well, welcome. Jason and Brian got 2 first-time breakers in here with us. So, again, with our base, we kind of move on through that at a decent little pace. And which is the first one we opened? Laser, right? Yeah, so technically, these are going to be our laser prisms, I guess. I haven't seen a laser prism, but seems correct to me. All right, and our first one there goes to Dallas and the Cowboys. Bradley, maybe Anaya, probably pronounced that wrong. I don't know. We'll find lots of those little advertising cards. You will see that I generally just show you front and back so that we make sure nothing is stuck to it, and then we keep right on trucking. Trey Boston comes out next, and that is headed to Carolina and the Panthers. I see the third one coming up on us. It's also going to Dallas. Dallas off to a good start. Sean Lee is here. Stang Lover says it's his first time, which we know isn't true, and then he says today. Well, I understand that. It's my first time today, too. It's my first time in a few days, isn't it? I know, but it's a good thing I've been off. I've been busy. I had a lot of stuff to get done, so... J.K. Dobbins and the Ravens. That is the 4th. We should be looking for one more out of here. And sure enough, there it is. It is Nick Chubb and the Cleveland Browns. Whoops, stacked him in the wrong spot, didn't I? So Buccaneers versus Kansas City. What do you think about that? And speaking of old men, Drew Brees, Silver Prism, just retired. And that is for the Saints. And then we had a base insert there. I guess I should take a step back and show you that again. Unstoppable. It's not numbered. It's not a prism, but it is the first time we saw that particular insert, Unstoppable. And that was Aaron Donald and the Rams. Let's open a disco now. So, yeah, Brady, old man Tom Brady with the Tampa Bay Bucks back in the Super Bowl. You just can't keep that guy out of there, can you? I'm telling you. Of course, everybody that, well, not everybody, but many of you who break with me often, you know that I am, besides being a huge Steelers fan, and that's my team, I love watching Kansas City play because I like Patrick Mahomes. So I'm glad that Patrick got there. It was a good game against the Bills, more or less. The Bills, obviously have some things they need to work on, but they're going to be good for many years too. And you know what? Green Bay played terribly, I thought. I really thought they'd beat Tampa Bay. I thought it would be Green Bay going to the Super Bowl. And they probably did too. But guess what? Surprise. No. Tom Brady going to his 10th Super Bowl. That's just crazy, isn't it? Well, 2 cards went flying off my pile there. They don't seem to be any worse for the wearer, thankfully, but they are both base, and there they were, the 2 that decided to take a nosedive. They were trying to stick to this guy right here. And this is Clyde Edwards-Helaire for Kansas City. Speak of the devil, and we got ourselves a relic out for Kansas City. So unnumbered, but still nice to have. And this is what our disco prism looks like. Okay, I was wondering. And that one is Aaron Jones and the Green Bay Packers. And then we've got a little bit of base coming through there. Phillip Rivers, another guy who's retired. Lots of retired guys all of a sudden. Oh, T-Man has the Ravens, huh? You like that Dobbins card a minute ago. Cowboys keep cleaning up. There's Ezekiel Elliott with one of our parallels. And, ooh, a blue parallel. And that one is Melvin Gordon, headed to Denver, and the Broncos with a nice blue prism parallel. We like that. Kyle Duggar. And Kyle is going to the Patriots. What else have we got? A TJ Watt. You know I like some TJ Watt. What do y'all think about Aaron Rodgers and his comments the other night after they lost? And then there have been all these stories in the news about, oh, la, 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 the people who know, oh, Aaron Rodgers wants out of Green Bay, etc. Do you think he really does? I don't know if I feel like he does or not. But anyway, there is another silver prism, Drew Brees, for New Orleans. We've opened 2 blasters and hit 2 silver prism Drew Brees. Here's a hype insert. First time we've seen it. Unnumbered, not a prism, but an insert nonetheless. And that is Cortland Sutton. It is also going to Denver. I say also just because, I don't know, they hit something else earlier. But anyway, Chargers. It's probably not who you wanted, but it's off to maybe it'll be a good mojo omen that you pulled Joshua Kelly if you're the Chargers. Of course, wanting that sweet little Justin Herbert, which hopefully we will find. T-Man, you have the Ravens, the Bills, and Tampa Bay. All right, well, you almost had the playoffs teams. Close of it. Brian, you said going to get a sliver of it the way this is going. Tell me again, Brian, who your team is in here. We'll try to get some first-time mojo working for you. We got a long ways to go, though. Keep that in mind. We've only opened a couple of blasters. This is the 3rd one coming out, so we've got a ways to go yet. The Jags. Okay, thank you. My poor old brain. I can't remember all that info from everybody's username versus their real name versus their eBay name, and gosh, I don't know. My brain is old and tired, and it can't remember all that. It's terrible, right? I should be able to. I know. But we'll see if we can't get Jacksonville Mojo fired up for you. Maybe we'll have some good luck, hopefully, before we get done. Anyway, here is Patrick Queen, the Baltimore Ravens. And we are back opening the laser. So we're basically, I've just did one, doing 1 and 1, disco, then laser, then disco, then laser, etc. Ooh, here's Justin Herbert. So now I told you Chargers, maybe the mojo was just getting warmed up. So you got the relic, the prism relic. Would have been nice if we had some ink, but that I don't think that you get ink in these blasters. If you do, it's super rare. It's all about the inserts and the memorabilia in this particular product. There's a little Jimmy G coming out for the 49ers. Remains to be seen how long he'll be there. Oh my gosh, and did you hear that they're going to open up a quarterback competition with the Rams, Jared Goff, and Wofford? I mean, Wofford did play well, but, wouldn't you think Jared Goff and his big contract just had that job? Golden Tate and the Giants. Apparently not, because the scuttlebutt is they're going to let the Rams are going to have a quarterback competition between those two. Ooh, all right then. There is another blue prism. This is Demario Davis. It's another one for the Saints. Saints getting all kinds of inserts, aren't they? Or parallels, I should say. Eno Benjamin, Arizona Cardinals. And an AJ Green for Cincinnati, the Bengals. What else do we have? A silver prism that is Austin Hooper for the Browns. First one we saw that wasn't Drew Brees. And then there's a nice go hard or go home insert for Kansas City and Patrick Mahomes. Wait a minute, wait a minute, wait a minute. Why is there, I stacked him in the wrong spot. I sleeved him and then I stacked him in with the other stuff. It's like, that's not going to work, is it? Not too well, anyway. Oh, T-Man, did I say San Diego? Did I say San Diego Rams? I'm sorry. LA Rams. So, sorry. I guess that's what I mean, did I say San Diego Chargers? See, I'm thinking Rams because we were talking the quarterback competition and you said old school over there, but no, I must have said the San Diego Chargers, not the Los Angeles Chargers, not St. Louis Rams, but the LA Rams. I don't know which one I said wrong. I either said St. Louis Rams when I should have said LA Rams, or I said San Diego Chargers when I should have said LA Chargers. Well, either way, sorry guys, you're right, old school. All right, let's see here. We have got ourselves Quentin Nelson, the Indianapolis Colts. Of course, we're in the disco parallel at the moment. I don't know. I kind of like the laser, but then I also kind of like the disco. I don't guess I have really a total preference. KJ Hamler for Denver and the Broncos. What about you guys? Do you like one better than the other? Laser versus disco. Brandon Graham, and that's Philadelphia and the Eagles. Deion Jones and the Falcons. I really didn't have a preference. I just, told them to send me what they had, and it just ended up being half and half, which worked out kind of nicely. On secondary market, sometimes you can't be super picky. Henry Ruggs and the Raiders. T-Man says, I had it. Oh, you messaged it incorrectly. I said it correctly. Okay. Well, I wouldn't have been surprised if I said it incorrectly. So I wouldn't have been at all surprised if that had been me. So, yeah. A silver prism is out for New England. And then behind it, I have a little A.J. Brown insert. And that is headed to the Titans. And it is a brilliance insert. So we're basically seeing, in addition to our 5 known prisms, either disco or laser, seems like we're finding one additional prism and one insert per box, and occasionally getting lucky with relics too, so not too bad. T. Cassie says he likes the laser the best, and Stang's just happy that he got anything, because he goes, hey, there's one. So he's just happy that there's one at all. All right, exactly. Some speak it into existence, Brian says. I like it. But, oh, I missed that up there where Stang Lover was saying, Holy Toledo, where are his Raiders? I didn't even see that. Well, that wrapper, good grief. Come on, man. Yeah, so sometimes speak it into existence works. Sometimes not. You just never know. I heard that the Pelicans might be open to moving a few of their pieces. Maybe Lonzo Ball, do you think? You think they're willing to move on Lonzo? Maybe. I don't know. Breakthrough odds, you like the disco best. I don't, as I said, I kind of like them both, so I'm kind of okay with either one, really. I like them both. Chandler Jones, Arizona Cardinals, a silver prism. Then we've got our insert. It's Fireworks, Ezekiel Elliott that heads to the Cowboys. DiNucci. We saw a little Ben DiNucci this year, didn't we? Not much of him, but a little of him in Dallas with the Cowboys when what's his head was Andy Dalton was knocked out in the concussion protocol. Of course, Dak injured earlier in the season. Traquan Smith, NOLA, the Saints. Oh, there's a little Patrick Mahomes base. And a Hunter Henry. Chargers were dancing all around it. Of course, we did hit the Herbert relic, which, you know, not bad, but... And there's a Devin Duvernay for Baltimore, the Ravens. Chase Young base. Stephon Diggs, Buffalo Bills. I think it wasn't it a Stephon Diggs that stayed out on the field. Like there was one Buffalo Bills player that stayed out on the field to watch Kansas City celebrate. If you saw that, I think it was Stephon Diggs, wasn't it? It was standing out there. That was like so sad. And Buffalo had a great season. It just, you know, they just couldn't pull it out there in the end, which is hard to do against Patrick Mahomes. It really is a little difficult, obviously. He says, yeah, that was Diggs standing there. I thought it was. Yeah, that was just, I mean, the Bills have to be proud, though. I mean, they got there. They played a great season. They played a good playoff game. And listen, they're not done. They'll be back. We'll be seeing a lot more of the Bills in the days ahead, years ahead. Well, look at that. He stayed behind, so we'll just do him first. He's our insert back on disco. Adam Thielen and the Vikings. Michael Gallup is our silver prism. And it is headed, of course, to Indianapolis to the Cowboys. What am I saying? Not Indianapolis, to Dallas. I'll get it right in a minute. A fireworks insert, that is going to Indianapolis. Darius Leonard. Jalen Reagor, Philadelphia Eagles, who presumably are now trying to keep Carson Wentz. I mean, ever since they fired their head coach because he made it known he wasn't getting along with him and wouldn't again with Doug Peterson. But now they're acting like maybe they're going to try to keep him. I don't know about that. I think I'd be letting him go on down the road like this guy's trying to do. Deshaun Watson and the Texans. Kyle Fuller and the Bears. There's a lot of good talent out there right now. And, of course, we're coming up into a quarterback-heavy draft, too. So where some of these trades and free agents go are going to make the draft even more interesting. Donovan Peoples-Jones headed to Cleveland. All right, back into laser. But if Aaron Rodgers really does leave Green Bay, oh, well, that would be the intrigue of the season right there, now wouldn't it? That would be what everybody would want to know. Where's Aaron Rodgers going to go? Because, I mean, even at his age, he's playing at a very high level. You figure he's got at least probably 4 or 5 more seasons in him, unless there's just a sudden dramatic drop-off, which can happen, but he doesn't look like he's anywhere near it, that's for sure. Breakthrough Odds says he should go to the Falcons so he can play Brady more often. Oh, man, you know that just sticks in his craw, especially because it was at home. That just makes it so much worse for Green Bay when it's a home game. That burns so way worse. Gabriel Davis and the Buffalo Bills. But hey, once again, you got to look and say you had he had an MVP caliber season, and Green Bay had a great season. Of course, you want to go to the Super Bowl and you want to win the Super Bowl, but you can't in any way say that season wasn't successful. There's Matt Ryan for the Falcons. And speaking of, there is Carson Wentz for Philadelphia and the Eagles. I probably should have sold those rookie cards I had of his long before now, huh? Sometimes buy and hold is not the answer. Jake Luton. I never get it right. Anyway, it's one for Jacksonville, so that's going to help Brian. And if I could pronounce the guy's name right, that'd probably make Brian happy too. But sadly, I butcher that guy's name every time because I can't remember how it's pronounced. David Njoku going to Cleveland and the Browns. And we have ourselves a silver prism for Cincinnati. Geno Atkins and the Bengals. Our insert over here is another go hard or go home. This one, Derrick Henry, Tennessee. Josh, I don't know where Jacob Eason is, but I have stopped on every prism that we have had. Everything that we did not stop on is 100% base. The way that you can tell is, of course, the prisms, they shine like this, and they have the rainbow of colors. And the base, they look like this. They don't have any rainbow of colors. They don't shine. So that's how you know which are prism and which are not. And of course, we have stopped on every prism. Silver, disco, laser, and blue. Any prism at all. We've stopped and called out and has been sleeved. So if we didn't call it out and it just went straight on through, it's base. Oh, T-Man saw it go through. He's confirming there that it was base, yes. Yeah, that's how you can always tell. The prisms have that, they have a special coating on them that reflects the light, and that's what gives you that rainbow color. So that's how we know what's prism as we come across it. This is an emergent. It is obviously not prism, not numbered, but it is Tua for the Dolphins. We did go ahead and sleeve him just because, well, you know, this Tua had him in my hand. Why not? Next up is Keyshawn Vaughn, Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And we are in, what are we in? Disco right now. Yeah, Disco Prism. KJ Wright and the Seahawks. I need to make a second little stack there. All right, what else? What else? An Eddie Jackson, and that's coming out for Chicago and the Bears. And there's Josiah DeGara, and that's going to Green Bay. And there's a Sam Darnold for the Jets, man whose job is in a little bit of jeopardy, I would say. All right, what did we just look at? Disco? Yeah, so we'll open laser here. This will be our last laser box. T. Cassidy said, yeah, it was base on Jacob Eason. All right, awesome. Yeah, I was pretty sure it was, or we would have stopped on it, but it's good that you guys saw it go by and knew which one we were talking about and could confirm it for Josh. That definitely helps. Wow, some of these wrappers are seriously not cooperating with me tonight. Making my life difficult, they are. Yeah, I may try to get us some more blasters if they have more. Every time I try to get them, it seems like they turn up sold out. And this time I was able, obviously, to get some of these loose box ones, but they keep selling out of them, and we'll have to wait for them to come in again. There's Kenny Stills, and that's Houston Texans. And our silver prism out of this box is Jonathan Allen, out for the Washington football team. We have an insert, Unstoppable. It is Bobby Wagner for the Seahawks. T. Higgins, base rookie, just because I happen to see it. Juwan Jennings, and that's San Francisco 49ers. A little advertising dealio there. Trey Flowers out next. And Trey is headed to Detroit and the Lions. Sean Lee, and that is Dallas and the Cowboys. And there's AJ Terrell. And AJ is headed to Atlanta and the Falcons, which is going to bring us to a little bit of last box mojo coming up here in a second. It's going to be the disco version, but I just thought while we're at a moment here where I could stop, I will pull that card out for Jacob just so he doesn't have to take our word for it. And there it is. And that way you got to see it, and you don't have to just trust us on it. All right, Breakthrough Odd says it's Justin Herbert time. You think we're going to hit him again? We hit that nice relic, but maybe we'll hit him in a disco prism. You think? Let's hope. That'd be nice. Staying Lover. He said, I said, there's one, not, I'll be happy with one. He said, there's one, not, I'll be happy with one. he wants at least one more hit, he says. All right, we got to try to get one more hit for him. Well, I will do my best to conjure it up. We'll see what we can come up with here. Neville Gallimore. And that is the Cowboys. Well, the Jets get in play here at the end, and that's going to be a relic, it seems, for Denzel Mims and the Jets. And hang on a minute. That's a different sleeve there for Denzel Mims and the Jets. So 3 relics, that's not too bad. 3 relics out of 10 loose. I'd say that's actually pretty good, as a matter of fact. Christian Kirk, Arizona Cardinals. A silver prism for Aeneas Williams. That is the Arizona Cardinals. An insert emergent Jerry Jeudy, Denver Broncos, neither prism nor numbered, but nonetheless, it would have been sleeved anyway after the break. Might as well do it. We're on the last box. Harold Landry and Tennessee with the Titans. Patrick Queen comes out again for the Ravens. We saw one of him earlier, although I don't remember if it was laser or disco. We did see one of him earlier. And then the last one, it is N'Keal Harry for the Patriots. All right, so you know what's coming next. It's a little recap action coming next. So there's a fair amount of stuff to recap, but we're going to dive in and do it. So if you missed something earlier, you're going to get another chance to take a look at it now. And I tell you what, we may as well just recap our inserts too, since there are not very many of them. They were really only 1 per blaster, and I'm also just going to sleeve them right now before we recap them as well. So that way, anybody who wants to take off, you can. Those of you who are inclined to wait, well, it'll just take me a second. Because I was going to do it anyway, but I'd rather do it now. I just think that'll be better, won't it? Sure it will. All right, so our inserts that are base inserts, non-prisms, non-numbered cards. Cortland Sutton, Denver Broncos. Aaron Donald for the Rams. Patrick Mahomes, Kansas City. A.J. Brown, Tennessee. And then we have an Ezekiel Elliott for the Cowboys. A Darius Leonard for the Colts. Derrick Henry, the Titans. There's a Tua Emergent for the Dolphins. Bobby Wagner for the Seahawks. Jerry Jeudy for the Denver Broncos. So that takes care of those. Now let's do our prisms that are neither disco nor laser. So we have a blue Demario Davis going to New Orleans, Melvin Gordon, Denver. The rest of these are silver prisms, again unnumbered. Aeneas Williams, Cardinals, Jonathan Allen, Washington football team, Geno Adkins, Cincinnati, Michael Gallup, Dallas, Chandler Jones, Cardinals, Devin Asasi, and I probably butchered that, but anyway, it's New England. Austin Hooper for Cleveland, and a pair of Drew Brees silver prisms coming out for the Saints. We managed to come up with 3 relics. We found 3 out of 10, or yeah, 3 out of 10. That's not bad. Denzel Mims and the New York Jets. A little Justin Herbert there for the Chargers, and Clyde Edwards-Helaire for Kansas City. So all 3 of those were nice little hits for the relics. Now all of our laser and disco prisms in recap here. Oh, Josh said, "Oh, you don't have to check the Easton." Oh no, I already did. I already put it back up there. Hopefully you saw it when you probably did. I just now looked over and saw that in chat, but I'm guessing we're okay on that. So, all right, there's I'm not even going to read all these off because there's a lot of them, right? There's what, 50 or 60. But we'll just buzz through them here, and if you missed any of it earlier, you want to take a second look at your cards, whatever, here is your chance. This one is the laser, of course, and the one with all the little dots that Panini sometimes calls sparkle. They're going to call it disco out of these. So a lot of their patterns look alike. See that? Which a lot of times they call sparkle. Now they're calling it disco. So, or they are in this release calling it disco anyway. So we'll just work with what they tell us, won't we? That's all you can do. Just work with what they give you. So all in all, not bad. We hit a few good things out of here, and of course, it's always fun to hit the exclusive parallels, which both the laser and the disco you can only find in the blasters, I think. So that makes it a little nicer anyway. All right, so let's recap what's coming up in the days ahead and when you can expect this to ship. If anybody missed either of those things earlier, it's coming at you now as soon as I get our focus set back. Get that done, and we will swing right back through there. So if you missed it, here it comes. Saturday is when I'm expecting to get this out the door. Might be able to get it out sooner than that. I will try my best, but I really don't think it would be later than Saturday, and it might even be sooner, but I wouldn't swear to that. And of course, it is always plus or minus a day, but you get the idea. And as far as consolation cards go, if your team did not pull a single card of any sort, base or otherwise, you would still get a package in the mail, and it would have consolation card or cards in it, and it would ship out when the rest of the break goes out the door, since this is a paid shipping break. However, I feel like every team probably pulled cards of some sort, because there's a pretty good amount of cards in there. So hopefully everybody did anyway. And the days ahead, well, they're looking a little sparse. It's going to continue to be that way up through about probably starting probably the second week or maybe, yeah, I don't know. Starting probably around the 7th or 8th of February, we'll get back to a more normal schedule. But for now, Friday, we have one new release. I keep wanting to say tomorrow, but this is just Wednesday. So Friday, we have one new release, and it is Leaf Metal Draft Baseball, and we will be breaking a full case of that. We are starting a shade later than normal at 9:15 Eastern instead of 9 Eastern, which is 6:15 Pacific. And that is because, well, I just didn't get it listed quite exactly 100% on time. So there you go. That's the deal. And I guess otherwise, that's pretty much it for me tonight. So thank you, everyone, for being here. I'll put that up there again if anybody missed it. And yeah, I'll see you again on Friday for our new release. In the meantime, enjoy your week. Stay warm if you're in my part of the country where it's snowy and cold. And everywhere, stay safe and happy and healthy. We'll see you the next time. Bye now.